You are never defeated until you believe you are. Everyone has faced defeat at some point in their lives, but it's your reaction to that defeat that truly matters. It can either make or break you. There is this famous quote that says, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up." The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Today's story will help you understand this quote and how important it is in our lives. So listen carefully. A king was once giving out his annual awards to all of his soldiers for their bravery, courage, and selflessness. A young soldier named William received an award for saving another soldier's life during battle. The king offered him a chance to ask for anything he wanted as a reward. William replied, "I would like to have my own kingdom, where I can put everything I've learned from you into practice." The king was pleased with William's request and granted it. He gave William a small piece of land far away from the capital. He also gave him 20 pairs of shoes, 10 helmets, and 10 full suits of armor, along with a few other useful items. The king told William to use these resources wisely and to come back in 6 months, so he could see how things were going. Exactly 6 months later, the king visited William's new land. He found that instead of having built a thriving community, William had actually accomplished nothing. The king was quite disappointed. He asked William why he hadn't done anything. In response, William pointed towards his soldiers and said, "My soldiers are to blame. They refused to do anything." The king was even more disappointed to hear this. He asked William if he thought that the 10 sets of armor and 20 pairs of shoes were not enough for his soldiers. William replied, "Oh no, Your Majesty. There were plenty of resources provided. It's not that they weren't enough, but that my soldiers refused to work with what they had." The king was very angry when he heard this. He summoned William's soldiers and asked them why they weren't working. They all started to complain. One of the soldiers said, "How could we work? We didn't know what tools to use." The king was even angrier now. He took off his own crown and split it into 2 pieces, placing one piece on top of William's head and the other on the helmet of one of the soldiers. Then he asked them both, "Now, tell me, who are you?" The soldier looked at the king and proudly said, "I am a soldier." The king turned to William and asked him the same question. But William was stunned. He couldn't answer the question. He looked at the king and then down at his feet, unable to speak. After a while, William finally looked up at the king and whispered, "I am the king." The king nodded his head and said, "That is right. You are the king. And as such, it is your duty to protect your people, to lead them, and to care for them. Now go on. Show me what a real king looks like." William immediately went to work, and within a week, the whole village was rebuilt. Not only that, but it became one of the best villages in the kingdom. Soon, everyone was asking, what makes William such a great leader? Some said, he is strong and brave. Others said, he is wise and smart. But William knew the real reason. He understood that being a king wasn't just about wearing a fancy crown. It was about how he saw himself and how he treated others. After William regained his lost identity, he became unstoppable. He set out on a journey to conquer nearby kingdoms, determined to build his own empire. But as he gained power, he also gained enemies. Many kings and queens who had been defeated by William envied him and plotted against him. They gathered a massive army and marched toward William's village, intending to destroy it. When William heard about the approaching army, he was furious. He knew that if he didn't do something, his village would be destroyed and his people put to the sword. At that moment, William had the choice to run away and save himself or stay and fight for what he believed in. He could have surrendered and given up without putting up a fight. After all, the enemy army was huge and William's forces were outnumbered. But instead, he chose to stand firm. He rallied his troops and prepared for battle. When the enemy army arrived, the fighting began. Swords clashed, shields were broken, and the ground was stained with the blood of fallen warriors. Despite their bravery, William's soldiers began to lose the battle. They were exhausted and losing hope. Some wanted to surrender, while others wished they could vanish from the battlefield. The enemy army was relentless and pushed them further and further back. It seemed as though everything was going wrong. In the midst of the chaos, William remembered the advice his father had given him long ago. His father had told him to never give up, to keep fighting no matter how difficult the situation may seem. William knew his father was right. Just because things were tough now didn't mean they would always be. As long as he kept trying, there was still a chance for victory. With this newfound determination, William led his troops with renewed vigor. The tide of the battle slowly began to turn in their favor. William's soldiers fought bravely, and with determination. They were willing to endure any hardship and sacrifice anything to protect their homeland. Finally, After hours of fierce fighting, the enemy army was defeated. They fled the battlefield, leaving behind their weapons and armor. As the smoke cleared and the dust settled, William stood amidst the ruins of his village, surveying the damage. He felt a deep sense of sorrow and despair. His home was gone, and many of his people had been killed or injured. But despite the destruction around him, William refused to give up. He knew that his journey was not over yet. He had to pick himself up and start rebuilding his life. With the help of his loyal soldiers and the support of the neighboring kingdoms, William began the long process of rebuilding his village. They cleared the rubble, planted crops, and constructed new homes. Slowly but surely, life began to return to normal. As the years passed, William's village grew into a prosperous city. His people thrived under his wise and compassionate rule. And William himself became known throughout the land as a hero. He had not only survived the greatest challenge of his life, but he had emerged from it stronger and more determined than ever before. So remember, brothers, no matter how tough things get, never give up. As long as you believe in yourself and keep trying, you can achieve anything. Do you understand this story? Let me share a little secret with you. The real strength doesn't come from physical power or material possessions. It comes from within us. It's the strength of our identity, our beliefs, and our values. When we truly believe in ourselves and our abilities, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve anything we set our minds to. It's easy to be strong when things are going well, but when faced with challenges and defeats, that's when we truly need to dig deep inside ourselves and find that inner strength. Remember, you are not defeated until you believe you are. Even if you face setbacks and failures, don't let them define you. Pick yourself up, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. Trust me, brothers, this strength is inside each and every one of you. All you have to do is believe in yourself and have faith in your abilities. William was just an ordinary person like you and me. He wasn't born with any special powers or privileges. But what set him apart was his identity. When he realized that he was the king, it gave him the strength and motivation to take action. He took responsibility for his people and his land, and that's what made him a hero. So brothers, identify yourself with your goals and dreams. Believe in yourself and have faith in your abilities. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, never give up. Keep moving forward, and never stop believing in yourself. That's where true strength lies. I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you liked it, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and join our community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.